Dude, Michael Jordan Jr., I mean, Anthony Edwards is the friggin' man.
We literally have like 7 more months of playoffs. So like, I feel like we're going to be fine.
By the way, the playoffs are going to end and Beadle's still going to be like, by the way, we're totally still going to get to the playoffs.
Oops, we forgot the playoffs.
Let's throw Gen Z over the top.
Utah's new NHL team will just be called Utah.
Everyone always says, when's the heavyweight division going to be great in boxing again? You now have like 4 really compelling fighters in that division, including a new champ, Alexander Usyk. So
yeah, Derek Zoolander, was that his name?
I don't know that I could see The Rock wanting to get roasted.
Is it political? I say we go in.
It's fine. Caitlin Clark is going to be fine.
By the way, we've gone off the rails.
Because Beadle's too bougie for any of this. Let me tell you
So
something.
bougie. It's not even funny.
Colin Cowherd or Red Lobster?
Red Lobster will live forever in our hearts. I'm Michelle Beadle.
And I'm Peter Rosenberg, and this is Over the Top.
Here's the deal. We have stories, right? The best ones. We got the sports, we got the pop culture, we got them facing off. Our job, it's very important. We crown a champion and we answer a question, an important one. What is the undisputed most important thing on the entire planet this week? And we decided the only way we know how, using Royal Rumble rules. So 2 stories. We decide which one's more worthy to discuss, which one's got to go. After 90 seconds-ish, a new story will be introduced, and we got to decide whether we want to keep talking about our current story or switch over to the new one. So we don't know the order of the stories, but we do decide which ones get thrown over the top rope. Peter, what's first?
All right, let's set it up, Beadle. Our first topics of the day. The NBA Conference Finals are officially set. In the West, it's Minnesota versus Dallas. Mm-hmm. And in the East, it's Boston. That's right, the Celtics versus Indiana. That means these series will feature Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Luka Doncic, and Jason Tatum, all under the age of 26 years old.
Damn.
Ooh, this is a tough matchup for me because it's up against Alexander Usyk, becoming boxing's first undisputed heavyweight champion in 25 years by defeating Tyson Fury in a split decision. Fury believes he won the fight and afterward made the accusation that people are siding with Usyk because his country is at war. By the way, I didn't know that he said that until right now. Ukraine is at war, by the way. ESPN has reported that a rematch is set for October 12th. Do we want to talk about the youth of the NBA playoffs or this awesome fight on Saturday?
Here's the funny thing about all of what you just said.
All right.
The last time a heavyweight champion was, I guess,
undisputed. Truly undisputed, yes.
None of the 4 boys that you just referenced, and yes, I'm old. These are children we are talking about. None of them were alive? Is that what we're getting here?
No, some might have been 1 year old.
1 year old. We got some 1 yearsies up there, guys.
But let me make this argument, Beadle. Here's why I say we go with the fight. Because we're going to get to all these guys.
Yeah,
we're talking NBA playoffs today.
We literally have like 7 more months of playoffs. So like, I feel like we're going to be fine.
By the way, the playoffs are going to end and Beadle's still going to be like, by the way, we're totally still going to get to the playoffs. But
oops, we forgot the playoffs.
But no, I have a hunch that all of these guys come back later in the show. So let's throw Gen Z over the top. Let's talk about something that hasn't happened since Lennox Lewis in 99-2000. That's right. The list of unified heavyweight champions in history it's rarefied air, and it happened in pretty shocking fashion this weekend. I don't think many people paid attention to the fact that Usyk Fury was even happening.
How do we make that better, by the way? Because what time did that bad boy start?
It didn't end up going on until the main event started at like late, at like 7 o'clock. Not late, but considering TV started at noon Eastern, like I threw it on, like I put on my viewing situation at like noon. I didn't realize it was going to be 7 hours, but it was nice. I napped. I did other things. I went out for a while. I came back. It was a fantastic fight. Like Tyson Fury, even though he says dumb things, he lost the fight. I mean, he lost the fight. It was very close. Okay. But here's how I look at it. If you have a very close fight in which anyone watching could tell it was close. And one of those fighters had a dominant 10-8 round in which the other dude almost like died. Don't be surprised when you lose the fight, because Usyk was never hurt close to the way Fury was. Now, Fury did recover because he is the Undertaker and he always recovers. But in the end, I had Usyk winning narrowly. He wins. New champ. Give me a rematch. And to your question, Beadle, how do we know about it more?
Yeah.
Talk about it more. I understand the money part. I don't think these major fights happening in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia helps.
It's not my sports hotspot per se, but that's just me, and I'm just one little girl in the world.
But you get the idea. If it was in Vegas, we would have talked about it more.
It would have gotten more. It would have just been talked about more. Period, across the board. I would have seen more stuff about it. I feel like I'm a very generic sports fan when we talk about knowing what's up. I barely knew that it was happening, and I sure as hell didn't know what time it was on. Up next, after the success of the Tom Brady roast on Netflix, a lot of speculation online about who could, should, and might be next. So the latest bookmaker odds, love that, have The Rock as the front runner at -150, Tiger Woods at +150, and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce together at +3,300, which that will just break everything. Meanwhile, Stephen A has suggested Aaron Rodgers as the logical next roastee. That's him showing he doesn't know Aaron Rodgers very well. Do we want to continue talking about the boxing match that you loved, or who's next?
No, let's speculate. Listen.
Speculate.
I think speculating would be fun on this, but I do recommend October 12th when it comes around, watch the rematch.
Okay.
Everyone always says, when's the heavyweight division going to be great in boxing again? You now have like 4 really compelling fighters in that division, including a new champ, Alexander Usyk. So
is that fight going to be in Riyadh again, or are they going to move around?
I feel like Wembley could be on the table.
That's fun. I like
that would help. That would help, I think. All right, so over the top you go, new champ Usyk. Let's speculate on the next Netflix roast. I don't know that I could see The Rock wanting to get roasted.
I don't know that he's got the skin for it.
The Rock, The Rock randomly, do you notice that The Rock randomly had a belt at WrestleMania?
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, like there was a belt that was given to him by Muhammad Ali's wife that I was like, wait, did The Rock just find a way to have a belt when he's the guy who doesn't have a belt?
Just carry a belt with you.
Yeah, like,
bring your own belt. Why not?
No, did you just find a way to make sure that you also had a belt?
BYOB, Peter. Big fan. I like when people do that.
I love Rocky, and I love how seriously he takes pro wrestling. It means the world to me. I don't see him being the kind of cat who wants to sit there and get like really roasted.
Because they're not going to roast him about wrestling stuff. It's going to be acting. Do you show up 9 hours late to a set? You muscle, steroid. It's going to be stuff like, your love life.
I don't see it. Now, here's the interesting one. I think Stephen A is completely wet. Aaron Rodgers would never do it.
Ever.
I mean,
Ever.
and by the way, if he did, that would be must-see TV. It would be amazing.
He would immediately go on Rogan and be like, everyone up there was a conspiracy theorist planted by the government.
I know.
Which is fantastic.
Fine, have your AI robots roast me if you want. But here's the thing. I will say, I wonder if this version, because a lot of people say, and I've never met him, that this version of Tiger is a bit different. Like he's gone through a lot. It would be amazing rehabilitation for his image to sit there and get roasted.
Not happening. There are still reasons and stories that we're not even allowed to talk about. Like, why did you get in a wreck all by yourself, speeding out of a hotel party? There's stuff there about his personal whatever.
Yeah, can't do it.
Yeah,
because how do you not make jokes about him? Even as inappropriate as this sounds, it's a roast. How do you not roast him for drinking and driving or taking drugs and drugs?
How you not? He's going to get pill pop jokes for the whole time.
The only one more pilled up than Tiger is, but yeah, you know what? None of these are happening. And Travis and Taylor.
I mean, how long do you think they're going to be together, people? What are we doing? I mean, forever, obviously. But
all right. Well, speaking of maybe a good person to roast, God, Beadle and I are going to be on fire today.
It's just I feel like I know where this is going.
Harrison Butker.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
The beloved kicker, once beloved kicker for your Kansas City Chiefs.
Was he beloved?
No. He gave the commencement speech at Benedictine College. I'm familiar. Absolutely.
You nailed it.
Yeah. I know I had heard of it prior to this, for sure. Like, I know people who went there, like, totally know where it is.
Almost all my friends. Party school.
Yeah, I know where it is, what it is. I've heard of it. It's like Syracuse or Rutgers. I know it.
Or
like,
Rutgers.
well. Who didn't? It's like Butker's.
It is like Butker's.
It's like Rutgers, except it's now called Butker's.
Oh, by the way, don't make fun of the school.
Oh no, I think maybe we should. They selected him for a reason.
They did
Beadle.
select him.
It wasn't an accident. They weren't like, we need a kicker to speak. I think they knew where this was going to go. Anyway, the NFL's official statement on his controversial commencement speech is that they don't agree with Butker's views. The White House announced that he is still invited to attend as part of the Chiefs' official visit. Oh, great. And Chiefs coach Andy Reid is rumored to have threatened to quit if ownership pushed for Butker's release amid petitions from angry fans to do so. But on the flip side, his women's jerseys have sold out online.
Oh, all 4? Congrats.
Do we want to continue talking about a Netflix roast, or do we just want to go into full-on political ranting and raving?
Is it political? I say we go in. Is this well-manicured with nothing to hide man right here? Let's do it.
No, you know what, Beadle, you're right. Throw the Netflix roast over the top. This is nasty. Yes. And like, it's not good. Like, it's so bad for a team when this happens. Because if you miss the speech, like, to cut through it, let's just focus on one part.
Yeah.
Like, he specifically basically called gay people evil.
He did. Yes, he did.
So like that, I don't even know all of the other stuff. I know I saw that when I went, okay, that's enough that I wouldn't want you on my team. That's
But
not.
we know better, Peter. He's not the only one that thinks that way. He just said it out loud. If you got rid of everybody in a professional sports locker room that has feeling some sort of way about gay men and women, you'd have some very empty locker rooms, friend. He just said it out loud. Here, shocking. I don't want him to lose his job. I think him losing his job would be absolutely asinine. I think it's better when we know how people feel about things, because now it's up to you. You can shame him, you can boo him, you can buy his jersey. See, that's the beauty
and they did.
Of the system. I know, and that's fine. And 100%. As a woman, I think everything he said was garbage. I think when you hide hateful thoughts and feelings and bigotry behind the quote unquote cloak of religion, I tend to roll my eyes and stop listening. But I think the fact that there were women in that audience that were not okay. I mean, granted, there were some that clearly were, but there were also some that weren't, who have come out since and been like, what the hell, dude? We just worked our asses off for years. And you're going to come in here and tell us that's all cute and stuff, but what you're really going to want to do is get married and have babies. Then you'll feel important. Like, go fuck yourself.
And I can't believe people thought we would get political on this one.
And by the way, it's also my freedom of speech to say, go fuck yourself, Harrison Butker. That's my freedom. I can do that. I'm not going to lose my job. And he should also have the right.
Yeah. And by the way, I think I can say this. I know Pat McAfee is a punter who happens to be a really good, talented dude. That doesn't mean we need the door open for every punter and kicker to think they need to talk. Shut the fuck up, kicker. Go kick the ball. You're not even part of the team, dude. They don't even consider you part of the team.
They really don't. I mean, I saw the Mahomes video where he doesn't talk to him. And also, secondly, my favorite tweet response to all of it was, somebody needs to remind Butker that whenever a woman is allowed to play on a men's football team, she's the fucking kicker, dude. Shut the fuck up.
For the 5th time. Let me be clear. Hey, by the way, did you ever see the movie Necessary Roughness?
I feel good about
you know
this.
who the kicker was?
Who?
Kathy fucking Ireland.
Woo!
And she's better than you. So as
And
Beadle said, shut the fuck up, Butker.
Okay, I think.
By the way, I get why you're mad. It's not. By the way, it's not the gays or the women's fault that your name was Butker as a kid.
It's really not.
That was your family's fault. They're the ones who didn't make the decision to change their name. Okay.
His mom's an oncologist. I don't know where all this anger's coming from. And 100thly, I don't ever trust dudes like this. Skeletons will come out. They always do. You can put your dollar on it now. Maybe I don't know what it is yet. I got my guesses.
And you know what? In closing, I just want to tie this whole thing up with a bow. Shut the fuck up, Harrison Butker.
May we never hear from him again. But it's his right to continue to speak, and therefore I say.
And by the way, like, if Justin Tucker spoke at a graduation, let's have a conversation. You know what? I can accept it. That's the GOAT. That's Justin Tucker. We can have a conversation. What if he says the
same stuff, Peter?
Oh,
Careful what you ask for.
He won't. No, he won't. He won't.
Okay, good.
He won't.
Good.
I know he won't.
Man. By the way, the nuns even came out and said, yeah, that ain't it. Up next.
No. Actually, beyond that, hold on. This just in. You know what the Nuns' official statement was?
Oh, no, tell me.
Shut the fuck up, Harrison Butker. I couldn't believe a nun of all people.
Oh, I could. I've heard stories. My mom went to boarding school in Rome. Up next, the conference. It's not good. The conference finals are set, but we're going to talk about how we got here. First, the Knicks, everybody's favorite underdog. That story just crashed, burned on Sunday. Of course, the cherry on top of that crap Sunday was that Jalen Brunson, of course, he had to break his hand. I mean, he's got to finish this game. What are you, nuts? OG and Hart, they played hurt. OG only had 5 minutes in him. The team ran out of gas. They fell to the Pacers, 130 to 109. And after the game, Tyrese Halliburton trolled him with a Reggie Miller choke hoodie in his post-game presser. Do we want to continue telling Harrison Butker to go fuck himself?
I think, oh my God, look at you. By the way, you know what? Let's kick him over the top.
Oh, please, by all means, allow me to do the honors. Get the
boom! Super kick.
We're going to be a lot of beeping today. Sorry, editing.
I know. By the way, we're generally pretty good. So
we are. No, yeah, you're right. We're good. This one needed it. It's therapy.
I went to the game. It wasn't what you want. It wasn't what you want.
Didn't feel right.
First of all, note to self. This is just a side note. If you have some level of a relationship with Spike Lee,
oh dear,
but you're not like best friends with Spike Lee, you need to be mindful about trying to say what's up to him on the court. Because I tried to do it in a moment when he was like Spike Leeing, and like he completely ignored me.
Oh dear. Oh,
and like no, and like that, and like he's not a friend. He's not coming over for dinner. But like you
talked to him.
No, he interviewed me for a documentary a few months ago that he reached out to me for. Yeah, he called. You remember, Beadle? You did the K show. He calls the K show all the time.
That's right. He was Spike Lee.
He's Spike Lee, but he was in the middle of like greed. So I went up and I got like a.
Hello, sir.
You know what? It was a bad omen. It was a bad omen.
You should have known then to just leave. You really should.
I know. Oh, I got left hanging by Spike Lee. No.
That's when you
and
know.
Then all the fans unfortunately got the comeuppance for that. They all got left hanging. Shouts to OG Anunoby, who like tried to go in spirit, but like obviously wasn't ready to play.
No way was he ready. That first step he took. I mean, I've had a couple torn hamstrings, and I was like, that ain't.
And he just looked so ginger from the beginning, right?
It looked like it hurt really, really badly.
And then it just, I personally felt that on Friday night, Tibbs should have called off the Dogs earlier. I know a lot of people disagree.
Okay.
I knew on Friday night they were not coming back to win that game.
Yeah.
I would have like basically. Once I get like a few minutes into the third quarter, not feeling it, like let's wait for Sunday. And instead they kind of kept trying. They had no gas, whatever.
That was the Knicks way, you know? Like,
it is.
Well, we've done it this far. Keep going.
They'll be back next year. I hope they get Mikal Bridges and keep this Villanova thing going.
From my heart to your heart, Peter.
I don't think that's a phrase. Anyways, up next, Colin Cowherd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Colin, your friend.
Yes, of course.
Colin Cowherd called out the WNBA for putting Caitlin Clark up against two of the best defensive teams in the WNBA, Connecticut and New York, in her first 4 games, where she clearly struggled, and she did. He then applauded the NFL for setting up the first overall pick, Caleb Williams, for success by giving the Bears an easier schedule to get his legs under him and not a lot of TV exposure until week 17. Do we want to talk about the Knicks more or Cowherd's take? I'm going to vote for that one, considering I sent it to the group and said, I want to rip this apart.
You did. And honestly, I feel like I've talked about the Knicks so much that I'm just sad, and I hope they have great vacations and come back bigger, stronger, and better than ever.
Well, let's throw the Knicks over the top then.
Carefully.
And they might, they may all, Josh might get hurt. OG might get hurt. They're all hurt anyway. Hartenstein's a little beat up. So yeah, first of all, am I like lame? Should I like believe that that's what the WNBA, like they really would plan their schedule to make her look good? Like, no,
that's not how it works. Also, her team's bad. They were bad last year, so they're not going to just be great over it. Look, I love Colin, but sometimes, you say crazy, outlandish things. Wemby was the number 1 draft pick. How many games did the Spurs win this season? Yeah,
he wasn't set up to be successful early.
It's the nature of the beast.
Getting your ass kicked as a stud rookie is a time-honored tradition. Like, it's fine. Caitlin Clark is going to be fine.
100%.
People are D'ing her up 94 feet on her ass, as you expected, and they should be. and it'll be fine. And people are still tuning in. Like, to me, here's the problem. Colin Cowherd is a radio genius. He can sit by himself or even have a quote co-host where it still seems like he's sitting by himself. Yeah, a co-host of Jay's. And he's a master at finding things to talk about. And like, I give him credit because he's a host who I've never agreed with. But back in the day when he was on in New York, like, he would keep me in my car to hear what he was going to say next because like his tease would be that good, right? And then he'd offend me and he'd call wrestling fans booger eaters.
We were booger eaters to him.
And then, of course, SmackDown went to Fox and he's sitting front row like the sellout fraud that he is.
I enjoyed that, by the way.
Well, no, just, by the way, he should have just worn a shirt with a picture of himself holding money in his hands. Like,
funny how that works. We got what now? Oh, okay, shit.
Love wrestling. Call me a booger eater. So I admire his talent. But I just want to say, sometimes we are so performative in this business that we just say shit. Yes. Come on, dude. You really think the NFL is basing the entire schedule on making sure Caleb looks good? They don't even know if Caleb's going to be. You can't even go into a season knowing what a quarterback's going to be. By week 5, Jaden Daniels could be the only quarterback anyone's talking about. Or he could be out of the league by week 8. Like, you're like, save it for Rogan, bro. This is conspiracy theory nonsense. It's not how it really works. No. And Caitlin's going to be fine. That's all.
She's been progressively better in the few games that they've played. Secondly, they went from having one, I think, nationally televised game to 36 of their 40. Mathematically, you're going to see a lot of bad Indiana Fever games. That's just how it goes when the number 1 draft pick goes to one of the worst teams from the season prior. Don't know what to tell you. It's not a conspiracy. And
he was like, they're going to have to make money because they're spending so much now. Look at what they've done. Dude, they're going to make their money. The first 4 games are not the story of Caitlin Clark. It's going to be just
She'll get better. She's getting better already. We're halfway through the show. Ooh, right now the most important topic of the day is Colin Cowherd.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Over the Top. That was like a news one I just read. Okay, Peter, you ready? I'm sorry. What's our next challenger? I didn't want to get too newsy.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. The next challenger here, it's a big one. R.I.P. to the GOAT, Cheddar Bay Biscuits.
Oh, I know.
Red Lobster has filed for Chapter 11 with $1 billion in debt and only $30 million on hand in cash. It's one of the largest restaurant bankruptcies in recent years. Not even a Beyonce song could save them. A shout out from Beyonce didn't do it.
Shocking.
So do you want to continue talking about Colin Cowherd in one of the weirder moments in the history of the show?
Well, how do we get
Colin
here?
Cowherd or Red Lobster?
Red Lobster has been an American staple. Do I eat? I think I've eaten it once, perhaps. But I don't know. It's up there with Cheesecake Factory. It feels like this is a sad, sad day for America. So, Peter, I'm going to throw Colin Cowherd's opinion right over the top rope.
Yeah, we did enough.
Shout out. Yeah, we did enough. We did enough.
We covered it. All right, we all know how I feel about Cheesecake Factory. It's amazing. But if you were to have to pick right here, the elevated casual family restaurant, your Red Lobster, your Olive Garden, your Outback, what are you picking? I'm going to be honest with you.
Hold on. What are my choices?
Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Outback. Let me tell you, because Beadle's too bougie for any of this. Let me tell you.
So bougie. It's not even funny.
I've actually never been to Red Lobster. I'm embarrassed to say it. No, I've never.
You know why? Because you've lived in states surrounded by ocean. It's really in the landlocked states, I think, where Red Lobster prevails.
No, but there's one in Times Square, and who doesn't want to go when living in New York to the Red Lobster?
And you know who
eats
at that? The people from the landlocked states.
That's one of the great points you've ever made.
Thank you.
But I am disappointed because I've heard nothing but love for the Cheddar Bay Biscuits.
Oh, they are good.
The question is, how soon will it be gone? Okay, the Red Lobster is still open. They're all still open right now. It's going to get saved, right?
I don't know. The restaurant fairy's coming out. Somebody will buy it. Some giant conglomerate.
Isn't
everything in the world owned by like 2 conglomerates?
Well, no, I think Shaq literally works with like a company that goes around buying big brands and like reviving them. This is one that I have to imagine survives. But for me, considering I've never eaten at Red Lobster, I'm not an Olive Garden guy. The number 1 restaurant in that range to me is Outback.
I used to work at a Carrabba's that was next door to an Outback, and they're all family. And I would go over there for one of those onion thingies, the bloomin'
onion.
Yeah, I would do that. And I'll say this: you can get the Cheddar Bay biscuits. You can actually buy them at your local
grocery store. Yeah.
and make them yourself. So you know what? If that's how Red Lobster lives on, and you pass that down to our children and our children's children, Red Lobster will live forever in our hearts. Up next, OKC and the Knicks got all of the hype as the popular underdog spoiler teams in these here NBA playoffs, but they both also got eliminated, and Dallas is still standing. The Mavs escaping their Game 6 with the Thunder earlier this week, and now sitting right up top, the WCF, with a top 5 player in Luka and a very rejuvenated Kyrie, who is now, hold on, 14-0 in closeout games. That's pretty good. Do we want to continue talking about Red Lobster's big adios or switch to the Dallas Mavs?
I think we've done what we need to do with Red Lobster. Let's talk about these Dallas Mavs. I think the NBA is probably, and ESPN and ABC are probably salivating at the prospect at this point of a Mavs Celtics Kyrie back to Boston series. It would be a lot of fun.
So much booing.
Here's the thing about Kyrie. He has not said boo about anything controversial in a long time. And not only that, he doesn't even need to take a lot of shots right now. Like, he's just there to, I feel like he's kind of settling into being second fiddle to Luka Doncic. Is like, okay, I'm playing with a guy who's an absolute stud scorer. I think we all know Kyrie can be that also. He's an incredible scorer, but I think has figured out we're probably at our best if I actually play point guard to Luka Doncic and let him do what he does. And it's the thing. Because listen, you could put Kyrie Irving on a team and go, hey, can you give us 40 a night? And he could. He's a sick scorer, but that's not what you want to do when you have Luka Doncic there. So as a Celtics fan, I'm not going to sit there looking forward to playing the Dallas Mavericks. They're gelling at the right time, Beads.
They also, talking about this youth movement, they have like PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Derek Jones Jr. Like, they have dudes that are stepping up that you're just like, oh, okay. So it's kind
Derek
of
Fisher, Bo Derek Luke.
Yeah, Derek Zoolander, was that his name? Yeah.
Derek Coleman.
Derek Coleman.
So many Dereks. All of
the Dereks. And they both still spell it wrong. And that's what makes it fun, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, what's wrong? EK or ICK?
So one is DERECK and one is DERRICK. Nobody has the DEREK. That's the old school.
Yeah, that's the old school basketball way. We want a DEREK.
Yeah. Screw that. That's old.
All right. Up next, we've had a lot of fun on the show, but this is a very serious subject. So I sort of feel like rather than even doing over the top with this one, we'll just move on from the Mavericks and talk about what's been a really, really important subject, at least in pop culture in America.
Damn.
And that is the video that came out on Friday of Sean Combs, Diddy, attacking his then girlfriend Cassie in a hotel back in 2016. He also since has posted an apology video on Instagram that was roasted online for a variety of reasons and raises more questions than it answers, certainly, about the past denials about his behavior. So, Beadle, I'll give you the room to talk about whatever you want to talk about with regard to it. I said this for a while ago, and I certainly feel it now. Instagram videos aside, like attempts at apologizing, we're never going to hear from him again. Like,
in what you mean, like professionally or
in a professional way? There's never going to be an award show red carpet. There's never going to be a bad boy reunion, which, by the way, bummer for a lot of these artists who were tied to him, who already probably had so many issues with him, and now they're gonna have the only thing they're gonna get asked about is this. Like it just I feel for some of those people, but not nearly as much as I feel for Cassie, who had to relive this whole thing on Friday. But Beadle, I don't think we ever hear from him again in a meaningful way. He won't be at the the Rock Nation brunch. He won't be taking pictures with Jay-Z. There's nothing. And to someone like Diddy, who's lived for the spotlight since he was a kid, Beadle, he may not go to jail. He may still have money. But if you don't think he's going to be suffering, I don't think you know who he is, because he's going to be living in an invisible cell for the rest of his life. What did cross my mind, though, was like what her family members must have felt in terms of that in that moment.
To have to actually, it's one thing to be told by your loved one that this happened to them. It's another thing to now see just one snippet of what apparently was a very long time of this happening.
It's awful.
Up next, for the 2024-2025 season, Utah's new NHL team will just be called Utah. Picture it in the lights. However, the franchise released a list of 20 of the potential team names for, the following season and beyond, and then they put it to a fan vote. The list included things like Freeze, Frost, Glaciers, Yeti, Black Diamonds, etc., etc. And the first round of voting closes this week. So as an American, do what you need to do. Do we, no, we don't. We're not going to continue talking about Cassie and Diddy. May you get what you have coming, sir. And let's talk about fan votes for hockey teams or any team, because this is awesome. Utah. Ta-ta-ta-ta.
By the way, of all places to get that, it's like it screams the Wayne's World Delaware bit.
It's so
good. Like all places, Utah. I don't necessarily love any of the names that were presented in that list, by the way. The Hockey McHockey Faces. We never got Bodie McBoatface, and that won. So since we didn't get that, I want Hockey McHockey Faces. Hockey McHockey Face, I like. Like I'm sort of feeling that's where they should have went, and I didn't see that one.
Well, people were putting in like inappropriate things like super soakers, and that's not what they're doing.
I saw other ones that were like, the Freeze and the Yetis and the ones that we just saw.
Not bad.
Yeti's fine.
It's a cute mascot idea.
Can I just say this though? If they were called the Utah Tits, I don't think I'd care.
Was that submitted?
Titties.
The Utah titties.
Imagine all the fun you could have with a logo.
By the way, we've gone off
and
the rails.
It's a play on mountains too, right? Like you use the mountains of Utah, but you just go with the tits.
You got Tittidite, and it's just people wearing like mountain gear. But we know what it means. We'll know.
Here's the deal. Game 7.
Oh yeah.
Western Conference semifinals.
Heard of it.
Down 20. The Twolves, the Minnesota Timberwolves, shock the world. And they end the game on a 54-24 run. It wasn't even close at the end. And they beat the Nuggets and the MVP 98-90. Obviously, we're not going to keep talking about the Utah Tits. Let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Over the top you go, NHL in Utah.
Bye. Dude. The only
Michael
thing.
Jordan Jr., Anthony Edwards is the friggin' man.
All I was sure of, Peter, was that the Denver Nuggets were repeating. It's the one thing I told you. I was like, 100%. I put my money on it before the season started. I saw it in my dreams. It was going to happen. I am blown away by what this Minnesota team has done. I know in their minds, they're not ahead of schedule because all the answers have been like, we've been losing. What do you want from us? All that. It's still, he's 22. Anthony Edwards is 22 years old and the face of this team. And it is... I'm sorry. I don't care what they think, and I'm happy for. They're ahead of schedule. This is exciting. It's crazy. They could beat the Celtics. They could.
They could. They are a great. This is a really great young, exciting team. Edwards is magic. His level of ball dominance, like that's the main. First of all, his whole the way he moves physically gives you Jordan and Kobe.
Yeah.
But also the fact that he'll just take a possession and gets the ball at half court and is like, I'm gonna have the ball for the next 17 seconds here. Let's see what happens. All of that feels refreshing in this way that I haven't seen in a little while. He's awesome. Obviously that team has a lot of threats beyond that. They're a problem.
You got Tim Connolly behind the scenes. He put together the Nuggets team. They go win a championship. Then he leaves and he goes to Minnesota. He does the trade we all mocked.
Oh my God. I was thinking about that. The Rudy Gobert trade. I was thinking about how ridiculous that trade was and how I thought that was impossible. And also the way they won the series was so improbable. Yeah. Once they blew the 2-0 lead, you're like, oh, they're losing 4-2. It's over. 100%. The fact that it went 7 and they won, it's thrilling. It's absolutely thrilling. Playoffs have been awesome this year, man. Hard to fight it.
It was still a little shocked, but also excited. Up next, just a few weeks after we said on this show that the only interesting thing about the number one golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, was his beard. Well, the man went and got himself arrested on his way to playing in the PGA Championship in a really bizarre clash with police that he is lucky enough to still get to call a misunderstanding. He was booked, he was fingerprinted, and he spent time in a jail cell before eventually going on to finish 8th. Do we want to continue talking about these 12s or switch to the outlaw over there, Scottie Scheffler?
I think you want to talk about the show. I think you have some things to say about Scheffler. No, you do.
Yeah, no, we can.
All right, let's end the well. Those more Timberwolves to do
for sure.
No more Nuggets, but over the top you go. Let's talk about Scottie Scheffler, who said, "Hold my beard." Huh?
Here's the thing: The background of this story was sad, okay? So a man was going to work at the PGA event. He was a PGA vendor. John Mills is his name. And he was hit by a shuttle bus, also a part of the tournament, and he was killed. That's the reason for the heavier than usual police presence at 5 o'clock in the morning on a dark, rainy morning. I don't know exactly what went down here. What I'm more irritated by, Peter, and continue to sort of be angry by, is we work in this business. You and I do hours and hours of radio every single day. We listen to radio. We hear the opinions of our colleagues. It is what it is. I was more upset with the response to this story than I was the story itself. Because not once did I hear a crowd of people or anybody call in and say he should have just complied. But yet, if a black person's sleeping in their apartment, they are supposed to comply. Well, they don't get to live another day to talk about what a misunderstanding it was, or that maybe the cop was having a bad day, or maybe you didn't do exactly what the cop asked you to do. None of that happens because he's got luck on his side and he looks different. And I'm pissed about it. I was pissed about the response more than the stupid story.
I just read a tweet from a guy named LibtardHater283 on Twitter.
He sounds hot.
And he says, "Hey, Beadle, I suppose you would have only been happy if they killed Scottie Scheffler. That's how I read it.
First of all,
you think he deserves to die?"
He doesn't read. We can stop that silly little comment. No, my point, dipshit inbred, is that nobody's supposed to die when we have these ridiculously small moments. That's the point, dipshits, for anybody who doesn't understand it. Nobody asked for Scheffler to be shot. We're asking that other people not get shot. It isn't fucking science. Figure it out.
I couldn't agree with everything you said more, so much so that I have really nothing to add. I mean, yeah, it is bizarre.
Was that a real person? Was that a real tweet?
No, I made that up. Where is...
I know it probably is a real person.
Wait, Beadle, you're aware that we pre-record the show, so how could I have gotten an instantaneous tweet?
I spent all Friday doing this story. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a bunch of those in my mentions. I just never look because I'm smart.
Well, then go search. Maybe you'll find LibtardHater283 or whatever I said his name was.
69.
That is 90 seconds, which means we've come to a decision, and I'm sure our fine editors at Wondery are thrilled that they don't have anything more to beep out from this week. The new, undisputed, most important thing on planet Earth this week is Scottie Scheffler getting arrested and somehow getting on the golf course within a couple hours. Still shot, 5 under for the day. Not a big deal.
You know, we all would have been out in time for that. All of us would have been.
No biggie. As long as you look like a dad and you're white, you're fine. Just go ahead and get to play. You know how it works. Next week's episode, it's going to be a doozy, but it's also going to drop on Wednesday instead of our regular Tuesday due to the Memorial Day holiday. All right? So look for it next Wednesday. Enjoy the holiday. That's it for us today. Tune in next week to determine the only thing you need to care about and what goes over the top. Oh, yeah, and look for us on IG Live, too.
Yeah, join us.
Fuck you, Butker.
Fire.